Hello everyone and welcome back to another F1 2020 challenge. Today we're jumping into time trial mode in the Formula 2 cars to answer the question, am I faster than Nikita Mazepin? So I've done this challenge, or a similar one before, with am I faster than Mahavir Raghunathan. I did that at Bahrain. I'll leave a link in the description because that's what YouTubers do when they mention another one of their videos. And yeah, this time we're going to drive the high-tech car of Nikita Mazepin, or this is actually Gyotto's car. You can't choose Mazepin's because that's how time trial mode works. But we're going to head over to the Sochi Autodrom and see if we can beat Nikita Mazepin's qualifying time. The lap record in a Formula 2 car was completed by Nick de Vries, a 1 minute 46. So we'll see if we can get close to that in the long run, but for now we will focus on the 2020 qualifying times, which were much slower. They were in the, I think the pole position time by Tsunoda was in a 48. I'll put everything on screen right now. Tsunoda pole position of 48.6. But our first target is Samaya with a 1 minute 51. So we'll see if we can beat his time first of all, and then focus on the drivers higher up later on. So this is my very first lap in time trial mode, and we'll just see how this goes. I always take quite a while to get up to speed, so this lap will be very messy. And yeah, I always make sure I do plenty of laps in the practice sessions for both Formula 2 and Formula 1 to try and get up to speed. But the Sochi Autodrom is a circuit I had some issues with when I was doing the F2 season here. So yeah, that's part of the reason I decided to drive around this circuit for this challenge, to try to get better around this circuit in the Formula 2 cars. But let's talk about this lap that I'm on. You can see braking very early and taking these corners quite slowly, and not the most ideal racing lines being taken. But obviously I'll be able to improve on this very dodgy lap that we're putting together. But right now I just want to get a banker in just to see what the time is like, and if it's even feasible to compete with the real life times, or if I'm going to be miles faster than the real life times. We'll just have to wait and see. I think when I did the challenge in Bahrain on the previous game, I was fairly consistent with the real life times. I think I was about 4th or 5th if you compare my time to the real life qualifying times. So hopefully we'll have a similar thing here, and it won't be too difficult, but we'll see how things go. A horrendous line through the chicane there as we continue through this lap, and yeah, there is so much room for improvement, but that's a good thing, and this will give us an indication of where the real life lap times stack up. So around the final corner of our first flyer,
fastest lap is a 1 minute 50.9.
and it's a 50.9, which is already faster than Guilherme Samaya's qualifying time. So that's saying something about his lap, and obviously maybe the track conditions were not as good on that day, but actually had traction control turned on, which I don't usually use in Formula 2. So we turn that off, and we go again, and immediately get one of our laps disqualified. So that's really annoying. That happened many times throughout this. I've taken out most of them, aside from the very annoying ones where I was on a very good lap. So yeah, it was very frustrating to even try and complete a lap around this circuit. There's so many places where you could just run slightly wide or cut a corner slightly too much. These first two real corners here, definitely one of them. I'm surprised they didn't get one there. It was a long way to the right on top of that curb. But improving already through those first few corners, turning off the traction control just makes the car feel so much nicer. You have to be a little bit cautious on the power, but yeah, it helps so much, and definitely I feel like it makes you go faster. Sometimes when you have the traction control on, it just feels like you're not getting the full horsepower out of the engine. So it's yeah, it's definitely a boost if you can drive without it. But continuing on with this lap, and missing the apex there out on the exit curb, and just not really getting a good line through that very sort of oddly shaped section of track, and again through this whole middle sector. Just it doesn't quite come together for us on this occasion, but much better than our original lap and we are finding a decent chunk of improvement. So heading into the chicane, this is where we made a big mistake, a bit of a wobble there on the entry, but getting through here fairly cleanly so far. Missed that apex there, but getting on the power relatively nicely. It's very easy to to have a spin there if you get on the power too early. Missed apex there on the right, just slowing down too much for the left, and then not being able to turn to the right through that chicane. But the final two corners now relatively simple, but very easy to cut this final one, as I've found out trying to start many laps. But we do improve on our time rather significantly. But we're actually going to go on with this and try and set another consecutive lap, because I definitely feel like I can improve just going lap on lap rather than restarting and checking times and such. So we're going to leave that time to the side for now and try and improve on it, and we already are through the first few corners. Turn 3 is a really nice corner. I love this, just going flat out. It's right on the limit. You can just barely get through there flat in the Formula 2 cars, and yeah, going full lock to the left to try to get the car turned. But I should also mention that I am using the default setup for the time being. I will load a setup later on, but I'm not really a master of setups. I just borrow them from other time trial records. So yeah, we'll get onto that a little bit later, but for now just using the default setup. So I actually really do like the feeling of the F2 cars with the default setup though. So I was, well, I'll get to that later. But yeah, on this second consecutive flyer, we really are finding more improvement. And another thing I did on several occasions, I'm not sure if I did it on my fastest lap of the day, but I would double press the DRS and then close it again, and that was definitely costing some time. I don't know how I keep doing that. It's not something I usually do in races, but I think I would just second guess myself if I pressed it a bit early or something. I don't know, but yeah, it was an issue that came up on a number of occasions. But anyway, as we head around the final couple of corners, we will see where this lap stacks up against the real-life times.
Last lap was a 1:47.1.
A 47.1, that is already faster than any of the times set in the Formula 2 qualifying session from 2020. Tsunoda was fastest with a 48.6. So yeah, definitely the track conditions on that day obviously weren't as good as they were in this time trial session, or as they were for Nick de Vries in 2018. So if we have a look at the other time set in 2018, I should also mention the cars were different back then. I don't know if they were faster or slower than what they are now, but I know now they have the 18-inch rims and a couple of other minor changes since then. But yeah, looking at the 2018 qualifying session, we would be 7th in between Luca Giotto and Tadasuke Makino. So that's actually pretty decent. I think we can definitely improve on that lap, and we are still yet to download a setup. So yeah, that is still pretty good news for our pace. We'll see if we can improve on that, and we'll cut on halfway through this lap, because you'll see why in just a moment. Finding some good improvement, then just running wide and getting our lap deleted. And that was a really frustrating one, because we were doing very, very well. And this was another frustrating one as well. Again, finding some good improvements on the lap, but as we head through, just running wide here and not actually getting our lap deleted, just losing time. And then just through these final few corners, a huge slide here, and that lap was down the drain at that point. So that was really frustrating. Just a mistake through those last few corners. Very, very easy to do. But we once again move on to a complete lap, and now we'll see what we can do with getting an even better lap together. So will we be able to take the 2018 pole effectively from Nick de Vries? And we'll yeah, just see if we can improve on his time, see what the best time we can do is. Running very, very wide there. I'm surprised, shocked that didn't delete our lap time. We were way out, and maybe we just had a tiniest part of the tyre on top of the curb, which I guess maybe is part of the track on that corner, I'm not sure, but we were way outside of the track limits, the traditional, you know, stay inside the white lines kind of track limits. So yeah, I had no idea how we got away with that, but we did, as we maybe even brushed the wall there along the straight. That's not going to do us any favors, but anyway, heading into the chicane here, and actually sort of second guess myself on the brakes there, and ran maybe slightly deeper than what I would have wanted to, but into the final few corners now, and we'll see if this is any improvement on our previous laps, getting through there rather nicely. And as we come towards the final 2 corners, we are going to improve on our original lap, so missing the apex of the final corner, but we do improve, and it's a 1 minute 46.956. That is a mega improvement on our previous, and that might be enough, not quite, to get us on the pole. That De Vries is a 46.4. We did a 46.9, so yeah, we don't quite get there, but I know we can do better than that, even without a setup. But we're going to steal a setup from the guy in second place. We're actually top of the leaderboard of all 3 people, so the other 2 got their lap times deleted, so our lap time, even though it's slower, is put above theirs, so that's a bit of a weird one. But clearly not many people do the time trial of Formula 2 cars in Russia. But anyway, the setup is very, very interesting. I don't really know anything about setting up cars in this game, but all the sliders are, or most of the sliders are all, all the way to one end or the other. So maximum camber, minimum toe angle, or at least on the minimum on the slider, and so on. And when you look at the suspension, the ride height is higher at the rear, lower at the front, softer suspension and anti-roll bars at the front, harder on the rear. It's all very, I don't know, minimum tire pressures as well. I don't know what any of this, what effect this has on the car. I don't know about how to tune cars, but that's why I download setups, because I don't know how to do my own. But anyway, we'll see if this helps us improve on our lap time. This is uncut, by the way. This is our first time out using this setup, and we'll see if we can improve and even get a feel for this setup, because straight away into that first right-hander, I notice it is very, very responsive. On the front end, you just turn and the car just goes, so gonna have to watch out for that, and hope the rear end doesn't step out too much, because I can imagine that being an issue with this setup. But we've already got a better exit out of the final corner to start our lap than what we did on our best so far, so that's some good signs of improvement. And as we head through turn 3, the car really, really grippy through here. It feels like it wants to sort of jump out from underneath you, but the time in the grip is there, and it definitely, the car just feels like it turns sharper. To put it simply, it feels like it's got more downforce despite having fairly low wings. The car just wants to turn. It feels very, very light, so that's a good thing. But you can see this lap isn't actually a very good lap, making a lot of just little mistakes, not using all the road, and not quite getting on the power very nicely, and missing the apex there, and yeah, just a lot of little mistakes on this lap. But the time is still coming to us. We are still making some huge improvements over our previous lap. So as we head into the last sector, this could easily be our best lap yet, and through this very tricky chicane, the car feeling very, very responsive through here, where traditionally it's quite difficult. We're nowhere near using all the road there, quite simply because the car was turning so much better than I expected it to. So that is some great handling. And as we come towards the final couple of corners, we're going to improve by around about a second here, and through the final corner across the finish line, it's 1 minute 45.956. We improved by an exact second over our previous lap. That is rather impressive to improve by 1.000 with the setup. That's going to put us faster than any of Formula 2 lap times ever set around this circuit in qualifying, and that is rather satisfying to get that done. We're going to see if we can improve on that lap though, and make anything better of it, but immediately we miss the apex of turn 4. and lose a bunch of time. So that idea goes down the drain. Try to throw it into this right-hander to gain some time back, and we get the lap disqualified. But as hard as I tried, I couldn't actually improve on that lap. That was the best I could do. There is the comparison. De Vries, a 6.4. We did a 5.9. So other than that, yeah, I could not improve on this lap, showing it from the offboard. I tried for another 20 minutes or so, and for one reason or another, I kept spinning, getting the lap deleted, or a bunch of other issues, and I just could not replicate this lap. So yeah, that seems to be the maximum. I know on a good day I could probably get more out of it. There's definitely some more time to gain. The guy I stole this setup from did a faster lap, albeit the lap was deleted, so who knows how legal that lap was, but there's definitely more time on the table. I think I probably could beat the lap time that they did, so maybe I'll have to come back to this at some point in the future, just to prove that. But yeah, I didn't have anything else in it today. That is the best I could do. So yeah, let me know if you enjoyed this, and other than that, I'll say thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Let me know what other driver, track, car combinations I can do this challenge with, or any other challenges or silly experiments that you want to see in the Formula 1 2020 or future F1 games. So other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later, alligator. Goodbye.